Whilst Lewis Hamilton arriving at Ferrari has dominated the headlines of the offseason so far, it is the Haas team who seem to be making the biggest strides. The perpetual minnows of the F1 grid have quietly been working away, revolutionising how they work and preparing to dominate the midfield in 2025. The changes go beyond just bringing Toyota on board though. The Ayao Komatsu revolution has begun, and the pit wall was a big problem that he saw a solution for. On top of that, Haas have started to turn away from Ferrari, as Komatsu has decided they found a better solution for the technical regulations. Today, I'll check it all out and consider if Haas are really set to be the new kings of the midfield. So don't go anywhere. Haas were the best package of the bottom 5 teams in 2024, despite their 7th place finish in the Constructors' Championship. Alpine's incredible result in Brazil upset the standings, but when excluding that shocking performance at one of the most extreme races in F1's recent memory, Haas were the better team. Ayao Komatsu's calm, engineering-focused leadership has brought them dividends in terms of their competitiveness, and last season they looked a long way from the Haas team we'd come to know under Gunther Steiner's stewardship. Of course, the Komatsu era has only really begun this year. He started his role as team principal in January 2024, and by that point the team were in full preparation mode for the coming season. Komatsu has had to do his work while the team has been handling the pressures of a 24-race season. Making sweeping changes mid-season could have upset the balance of things within the team and caused more problems than it solved. Now though, he's had an entire offseason to make the changes he sees as necessary, and for the team we see at the trackside on race weekends, these changes are massive. Haas has completely overhauled their race operations team, as Komatsu saw them as a clear weakness in the team's operations. The overhaul includes a first for Formulaone, as Laura Müller becomes the sport's first female race engineer. The German engineer Müller will work with new signing Esteban Ocon as one of the 2 new race engineers at the US-based team. Müller's opposite number on the car of Ocon's teammate, British rookie Oliver Bearman, will be Romain O'Hare, another internal recruit who was previously a performance engineer. Race engineering is a key role as the person who works most closely with the drivers on the performance, setup and running of their car. It is their voice that is heard talking to drivers on television broadcasts. Haas's new head of strategy will also be a woman. Corinne Kreidlich has been recruited from Red Bull's Racing Bulls team and will start work on March 1st. The significance of her promotion is something that Haas team principal Ayao Komatsu is acutely aware of, while insisting she's there on merit, not simply because of her gender. Komatsu said, "Laura Müller and Ronan O'Hare, they've both been performance engineers. Ronan has got more experience than Laura because he was at Williams before, whereas for Laura, Haas is the first F1 team she's worked for. But they've both got good potential and good determination. So we decided to promote internally because that sends a good message for everyone as well. Rather than go for some big names with experience from the outside, promote somebody who may not have enough experience to start with, let's say, but has potential with good work ethic, good communication." Komatsu was very clear that the 2 had earned their positions because they deserved them. "It's not like I chose Laura because she's female. We just don't care. Nationality, gender, doesn't matter. What matters is work, how you fit into the team, how you can maximize the performance. And Ronan and Laura, I believe, happen to be the best choice." Müller's pairing with Esteban Ocon for a first race engineer job could be exciting. Ocon is a fiery and spiky character at times, never afraid of speaking his mind even when it isn't very helpful. Incidents like the one that happened in Monaco last season, where a crazy lunge on teammate Pierre Gasly cost him big time early on in the race, can make him difficult to control, but Komatsu explained he's well aware of that, and that is exactly why Müller is the perfect engineer for him. She's a determined character, and then she's very hardworking. She has a very good work ethic in terms of looking at the personality. Esteban is a pretty determined character as well. So from that side, I think there'll be a driving force and their personalities match. Before I go on and talk about the rest of the sweeping changes that Haas has made during the off-season, if you enjoy the content we bring and want to catch all the news in the lead up to the 2025 F1 season, then please press the like button and subscribe to F1 Reverse. We're closing in on 100,000 subscribers after 3 years of bringing you daily F1 news, so thank you very much to everyone who's helped make that happen. Anyway, the changes go further than just the race engineers and head of strategy. Komatsu has appointed a new chief race engineer and sporting director, both common positions the low-budget team didn't have filled last season. The new chief race engineer is Francesco Nenci, who most recently worked at Audi's Dakar Rally program and has F1 experience with Sauber and Toyota. Mark Lowe, previously Haas's operations team manager, will be sporting director. The summary of that all is that Haas have essentially ripped out the entire team that makes decisions during race weekends and has replaced them with a brand new one. It isn't uncommon for a staff member or maybe two to change positions or move on during the off-season, but this isn't just the natural ebb and flow of an F1 team. This is more like a major surgery. Speaking about why such sweeping changes have happened, Komatsu made it clear that he wasn't happy with the performance of the old race day team. "I felt the trackside team was one of the weakest areas last year, and the more the car became competitive, that exposed it more. Towards the end of the year, we had the 5th fastest car, but in terms of execution, we should have finished P6 in the Constructors' Championship, but we didn't. Part of it was we left too many points on the table from the trackside operation, so we really needed a step up. It's a lot of change at once, and the biggest suite of changes the team has endured since they entered the sport in 2016. But Komatsu reckoned now was the right time, especially given sweeping new rules to the aerodynamic and power unit rules will be introduced next year. I felt we had to do it at some point," he said. "Then, when's the right moment? It's never the right moment. But we decided we'd rather do it this year than in 26 with a complete new generation of cars. So at least the technical regulations are stable. What we're dealing with sporting-wise is stable. The influx of those new people coming in, yeah, no doubt it's not going to be easy, but I felt we had to do it at some point. We can't keep putting it off." To go with the big changes to their trackside team, Haas are also making some changes on the technical side. Haas have a unique structure in that their in-house operations are pared back as much as possible through their partnership with Ferrari. Haas uses Ferrari's wind tunnel, has their design team in Italy at Maranello, and buys virtually all the parts from Ferrari permitted in the rules for their car, designing only the aerodynamic surfaces and chassis. For 2025 though, that is starting to change, perhaps with the help of the technical services of Toyota. Haas will not be taking Ferrari's front suspension this season, with Komatsu deciding that the team can design something themselves that is a better match for their car than what Ferrari were providing. The team will have a brand new monocoque for 2025 because it was holding them back from innovating in the way they wanted through the 2024 season. The new monocoque will provide them with much more scope for development in 2025. And depending on what other teams do in terms of prioritizing the 2026 rules or the current regulations, Haas could find some serious gains for this season and be the most competitive they've ever been. Komatsu pointed out that the decision to stop using Ferrari suspension wasn't taken just because they could. Several members of Haas's design, development, and performance teams actually ran studies to analyze the benefit of taking on Ferrari's latest front suspension or of continuing to develop the front suspension they used last year. It is a big step for Haas, though a scary one as well. With their own suspension comes a greater risk of something going wrong. Relying on Ferrari is easy and safe. They can rely on the Scuderia to not make a mistake. But now that they are doing it themselves, that risk exists. But the benefits clearly outweigh that risk for Haas, and 2025 is going to be a very exciting year for the team. What do you think of the changes Haas have made? Do you think they could shock everyone this season? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you want to support the channel, make sure to check out our merch store at f1reverse.com to get yourself some sweet F1 inspired merch. Until next time, drive safe and bye for now.